Good evening. It's Friday evening, and so that means it's the beginning of the Sabbath. And so I extend to you a traditional Sabbath greeting, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. This week we've been basing our prayer time on the story of creation that is still continuing today. And I've been wanting to do this because I find that for me it provides a sense of orientation, a centering kind of a sense in the midst of disorienting times. And so tonight we finish this series of prayerful reflection on the creation story as we look to the seventh day, the Sabbath day. And so as we begin this time, let's get ready. Psalm 62, some excerpts. My soul finds rest in God alone. My salvation comes from him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will never be shaken. Find rest, O my soul, in God alone. My hope comes from him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will not be shaken. Trust in him at all times, O people. Pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge. One thing God has spoken, two things have I heard, that you, O God, are strong, and that you, O Lord, are loving. Well, in the beginning, God was dancing, leaping for joy. And God was so joyful that God leapt out of God's self, back into God's self, and everything that came to be sprang out of God's dance of joy. God said, "Let there be light," and God created the light in color. And God saw that the light was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And then God said, "Let the water be separated. Let there be water below and water above." And God called the water below sea and the water above sky. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. Sea and sky. And then God said, "Let the water below be gathered so that dry ground will appear." And God called the dry ground land, and God saw that the land was good. And then God said, "Let the land produce growing things." So there were plants of all kinds that sprang up by virtue of the land's goodness. And God saw that all the plants in their many varieties were good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. That's two goods on one day, the land and the plants. Good, good. And then God said, let there be lights in the sky to govern the day and the night, the sun to govern the day, the moon and the stars to govern the night. And God saw that the lights were good. And there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day. And God said, let the sea and the sky teem with living creatures of all kinds. And God saw that the creatures were good. And there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, let the land be filled with living creatures that move along the ground, that live on the land. And God saw that the creatures, the animals, all the animals that God had created were good. And then God said, let us make humans in our image. So God fashioned humans out of the dust of the ground and breathed into them the breath of life. They were made out of something from below and something from above. And then when God had finished creating humans, God looked at all that God had made. And God said, God saw that it was very good. And then the Bible tells us, it comes to this pinnacle, this climax in the story. And here's what it says. By the seventh day, I draw a circle because 7 is the number of completion. By the seventh day, God finished all God was working on, all God's making. And so on the seventh day, there's another 7 in the text. So on the seventh day, draw another circle here, God rested. And God blessed the seventh day. Draw another circle for another 7 in the text. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, or set apart. Set apart the seventh day from all other days. The seventh day was a special day. God finished God's work on the seventh day. God rested on the seventh day. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, or set it apart from all other days. Finished, rested, blessed and made holy. Finished, rested, blessed, and made holy. Finished. There's nothing lacking here. It is complete. There's light and water and air to breathe and land to live on and to take care of, and plants that are fruitful and that provide us with food and beauty and wonder to nurture and sustain life. And there's the sun and the moon and the stars. Now we have a way to keep track of time, and a way to orient ourselves, to find our place, to navigate from one place to another. And there's creatures of incredible variety that fill the earth and sustain it and sustain us, providing beauty and everything that we need is here. There's even companionship here, relationship, and joy and dance and creativity. And there's both time and space. And there's work. We're given work to do, meaningful work. And there's rest. And there's play, which is a playful kind of a work, a restful kind of a work. Play is the combination of rest and work. It's all oriented by play because it sprang out of God's joy. God was just pleased to do all this making. God didn't have to make, God just wanted to make. Wow. It's all made by God's good pleasure. And God invites us to join in God's good pleasure. There's nothing lacking. It's complete. It's finished. I wonder what your prayer is as you think about and as you marvel at God's finished work of creation. I wonder how you could say a prayer of thanks for God's finished work. I wonder if you would say it in a song or in a poem or by dancing or writing a letter to God or just by being silent and wondering about creation. I wonder how you would form your prayer for the finished work, the complete work of creation. And I wonder if you'd like to focus your prayer on some aspect of creation. Maybe it's someone that you know, or maybe it's the color of light, or water, or air, or land, or plants, or animals. I wonder if you would like to focus your prayer. I think of St. Francis of Assisi, who prayed, who formed a prayer thanking, I think it was Brother Moon, I think was his prayer to Brother Moon. So I wonder if there's a particular part of creation that you're most grateful for right now, and how you would form a prayer out of that. And now God rested. See, God intends for us to experience rest. That doesn't mean that we don't do anything, that we're not given work, but God even wants our work to spring from God's rest and to return to rest. Notice that rest is at the center and the circumference of our lives, because God's dance was a restful kind of an activity, a playful thing. And so God intends our work to spring from God's rest and to return to it. Our work to be surrounded by God's rest and to be centered on God's rest. So I wonder what your prayer of rest might be, even as you finish your work this week. I invite you to pray with me for things that spoil our rest. Creator of all, I pray that you will give us rest from hatred, from racism, from division. Give us rest from violence. Give us rest from selfishness and greed. Give us rest from despair and hopelessness. Give us rest from apathy. Give us rest from cynicism and skepticism. Give us rest from disbelief and chronic doubt. Give us rest from worry and anxiety. Give us rest from self-sufficiency. Give us rest from doubting that you are with us and that you love us. Give us rest from judgmentalism and from our propensity to isolate one from another. Give us rest from our lies and our misinformation that misleads us. Give us your rest, a rest of joy, of trust, of hope, of play, of peace, the rest of health and strength and provision. Give us rest from our impoverishment, from our inequities. Give us rest. And it says that God, the text tells us that God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, or got married to it. God the King united with Queen Sabbath. That word bless can mean to kneel before, but it can also mean to be happy, to be gladdened. And so there's a dance of creation that springs out of God's rest and that returns to God's gladness, to God's good pleasure. And so there's music in creation. I don't know if you noticed, but creation is good, 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 good. There was two goods on that day, and good, 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 and good. There was two goods on this day. And as 7 is a number of completion, it's as if the seventh day has 3 goods. Good, good, good. Finished, rested, blessed, and made holy. Good, good, good. So there's music in creation. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. I wonder what song you might sing to the Creator of all things that are good. All good things. The giver of everything good. Here's a song from Psalm 63. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you, my body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water. I have seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory, because your love is better than life. My lips will glorify you. I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. My soul will be satisfied as with the richest of foods. With singing lips my mouth will praise you. On my bed I remember you. I think of you through the watches of the night. Because you are my help, I sing in the shadow of your wings. My friends, be loved and love, because you are God's beloved. Amen.